What's going on, everybody? Man, we have got a jam-packed episode for you guys today. Apparently, the Central African Republic is about to make Bitcoin legal tender. We're going to be looking at that article from our friends over at Our Bitcoin News, as well as taking a look at these gnarly markets, not just in the crypto world, but also in the macro side of things, equities, commodities. None of it's doing well right now. We're having a pretty bloody Monday. So our friends over at comdex.one are going to be sponsoring that session. We're going to be taking a look at some things there and the fact that you can now stake your CMDX tokens on our own restake fork through Carbon Zero. We're going to be taking a look at that as well. We got charts for you. It's Monday. You know what's going on. So stay tuned, guys. We're getting right into this. Welcome back to another episode of CoinLogic TV, where we are looking logically at crypto assets. I am your host, the Logical Dude, your favorite van life living, crypto investing digital nomad. I hope you guys are doing great today. Man, it is a bloody brutal day in all markets for the most part. I mean, it's gnarly. We come down here and we look at the top 10 by market cap here in the crypto markets. We have got Bitcoin down to 39,589 at current time of recording this. It's holding on tight. We're holding that 39 support for everything that we can hold on to. Ethereum has cracked under $3,000. We got Tether being Tether. We've got Binance under $400. We got USDC being USDC. Actually, they're down a little bit, but, it's a stable coin. Solana's down under $100. Terra's down under 95. XRP is at 67 cents. Cardano is at 87 cents. And Polkadot, rounding out the top 10, is at $17.80. We'll say that. The top 10 gainers of the day, of course, we've got the Doge, because you've got Elon trying to, come in and buy Twitter, and because Elon likes Dogecoin, then Doge is going to pump because, it's a cult. Crypto is becoming extremely tribalist, and it's kind of almost annoying to a point to where, just because, one person says something, you're going to have assets go pumping up. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, that's the world that we live in. None of it makes sense anymore. So you just got to go with the flow, So if you're riding Dogecoin, good job, I sold all of mine back before his whole Saturday Night Live thing at like 68 cents, I think is where I sold all my Doge. So, I'm okay. Not a problem. And I 10x'd my Dogecoin miners. So that was unreal on that. So I bought them at like 125 each and I sold them at like 12.50. But now I wish I hadn't sold them because I may be ending up with a farm in the next year or so. So kind of like, going to be on the lookout for some old miners that I can power with solar power. So, because that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about in these nasty kind of bearish markets, is building the next phase of things, because looking at this stuff can get depressing. Anyway, let's get back into this because I'm starting to ramble a little bit. Coffee's been kicking in. We have got Terra Luna that is up, right up under that at only 5% increase. So we're not seeing incredible jumps in some of these tokens like we will see, occasionally. We've got our bonded Luna, the B Luna, which is basically kind of like a wrap version of Luna on the Luna ecosystem. It's kind of, Anyway, it's up 3.51%. We've got XCN chain up 2.41%. Leo token, not Leo Finance. This is the Bitfinex Leo up 1.6. Thorchain up 1.57. And then we have got the Binance Dollar. Is that a dollar? Huh, shocking. And then we got Bitcoin Cash up 0.19% and Maker up 0.07%. So, in other words, long drawn out way of saying the markets are not very impressive today. We've got bigger losers than we've got gainers. We've got Zilliqa down over 8%, Pancake Swaps down over 8%, Near Protocol is down 8%. Waves is down 7%. Axie Infinity is down 7%. Harmony's down 6.5%. Synthetics is down 6.5%. Osmosis is down even further, down 6% to under $5. That's really freaking depressing and pissing me off, but it is what it is. Ethereum Classic, 5.74% down, and Frac shares down 5.67%. These tokens are getting killed. It is what it is. We're going into some super weird times globally. Got some crazy things happening, as nothing is ever what it seems. It's scary times, man. And the markets are showing that. The sentiment is in extreme fear into 23. The technical analysis is screaming sell. What are we going to do? Are you going to sell? Are you going to sell? Well, let's look at the charts and see, what I'm going to do. I'm absolutely not selling right now. I am trying to, I repeat, I kind of rephrase that. I have to pay bills with crypto, so I have to sell some. But I'm not trying to sell the stacks because things are down, because you don't sell into oversold conditions. That's just silly, man. Don't sell into oversold conditions. Just look at Bitcoin right now. All right. Look at this really gnarly wick that we had here. This is some indecision candle that you see going on here. And then we had this really gnarly drop down to 38,000, but quickly came back up. And it's a green candle at that. So let's come over here and let's pop on some indicators. Let's take a look at the RS-ISL. Let's turn on that RS-ISL. All right, so the RS-ISL, the RSI, that is, the Relative Strength Index, is down at a 40. We did hit some, really low conditions. Didn't ever really hit oversold, though. But we are tipping up in the right direction as far as momentum is concerned. The 14-day moving average, which is this yellow line here, for the RS-ISL. I'm just trying to be fun here. But anyway, that is starting to curve to the upside. So that's starting to look possibly like we are finding a bit of bottom right now. Because we have hit these levels before. You look the other day on Binance Coin, or, a couple of weeks ago here, and boom, we hit these levels. Well, now we hit a little bit below. Same kind of wick deal, man. This is telling me that we are finding some bottom. Look at the curves here. Making me feel a little bit better, So if you're just looking at price action, man, it can scare the crap out of you. But if you come and actually look at the charts, and if you learn a little bit about some technical analysis, you can breathe a little bit, all right? Because you see that a lot of these assets, even Hive dropped down to 88 cents. That's depressing because, I got to sell some Hive tomorrow to pay some bills, and it's not going to work out the way I was wanting it to. But, that's just life. Life doesn't always work out the way that you want it to. But you can see we're starting to even out here, even though we got some choppy action on the, on the regular RSI here. The 14-day is pretty smooth and looking like a point to the upside. All right, let's take a look at, we won't skip over Litecoin here. Well, let's take a look. Same kind of situation, except it's a little bit of a sell here. Litecoin's one I watch for transactional purposes. It's not one I necessarily hold. I'm going to hold Bitcoin. I'll transact in Litecoin. And then Hive and the rest of it is all just basically engines that earn me more of the other stuff that I want. So I do love Hive, and I do stack Hive, but it's a big engine for me. All right, you can see here on Atom. Atom's been taking a nasty hit down to 21.9. That so does all the other IBC tokens. They have just been going down, pretty bad. And it's been really depressing to see all that because they were doing so well and actually defying the markets for such a time. No longer doing that. Now they are actually starting to look like they're starting to hit a little bit of bottom here. So hopefully this rounding out here is going to be taking place in that ecosystem as well. But, like I said, everything's kind of down right now. But right now is the time to accumulate and just kind of rebuild those stacks and keep that stacks going. If you can afford it, start taking, a look at starting to, maybe accumulating a little bit at this point in time, you know. Stable coins are definitely going to be, you know, a great way to stack up and earn some interest while the rest of these coins are all down. You want to make sure that we're going to be having some confirmation to the upside before you start going and piling in. But if you are providing liquidity using DeFi and staking, that kind of thing, just stack and restack and compound your stuff. One way that you can do that in the Cosmos ecosystem, okay, so if you are staking like Comdex tokens, you can absolutely do that from our friends over here at Carbon Zero. We actually have a link right over here on CoinLogic, staking with Carbon Zero. That takes you to this page, and then you can go directly to the asset that you want to stake, like Comdex. It'll bring you right here, and you can select how much you want to delegate and that kind of thing. It's really awesome. We finally got that all up and running, trying to become, you know, solid and official validators in the ecosystem here. So go check that out, and then you can earn like 40% and just keep compounding that stuff. We've got Nomic, we've got Sif Chain, the Rowan token, we've got Kerberos meme coin, and we got the Huawei Chain meme coin. We're looking at getting in some more solid blue chip, you know, projects in the Cosmos space. So just working on trying to build relationships and that kind of thing with teams. That's really going to be kind of the way to go. But anyway, speaking of our friends over here at Comdex, they are democratizing finance for all. So they're trying to take all these commodities markets and that kind of thing and bring them into the blockchain, IBC ecosystems, that kind of thing. So we're just going to go right on into our macro moment for the day, because if we were able to trade this kind of stuff using blockchain, you could short these kind of things down the road and, you know, maybe loan against some crypto to be able to get gold and silver and oil and be able to trade against that during these times. So let's go over here and take a look at these macro markets here. Let's take a look at our S&P 500. It's definitely looking gnarly. We had some big drops on Friday. Monday has been an extension of those drops. We are down. Well, I mean, these big markets, 0.5% down is pretty gnarly in a lot of cases for these hedge funds. That can be a big loss, you know, for these huge portfolios. NASDAQ has been hit pretty hard as well, because, you know, the three American indices are basically just that. They're almost all the same at this point. Let's take a look at the Japanese markets. You know, not as harsh of a drop, but definitely not looking good. Deutsche market's definitely looking the same. They're on major downtrends, and the Great Britain was defying the rest of them for a few days there, but has definitely taken that hard, sharp drop down as well. But these are the ones that have definitely been taking a bit of a hit, is the commodities, and that's what you're going to be able to eventually trade on the Comdex decentralized commodities exchange, when they're eventually going to be getting into other stuff as well. So let's actually take a look at that real quick. So just kind of a little side note, because why not? The DevNet is definitely something that you can come and take a look at. There are, you know, some bugs. This is a DevNet, but you can come and play with it. You can go to faucet.comdex.one and go and get some testnet faucet tokens to come in here and start trying to swap Comdex for gold, silver, and oil, that kind of thing. You will be able to eventually come in here and provide liquidity and then earn Comdex for those markets. You will also be able to loan against your Comdex as well as other assets here and create those C assets like gold, silver, and oil. So when we are in downtimes like we are now, you can actually borrow against some crypto reserves, buy some cheap gold, buy some cheap silver, because it's dropped back down, because we pumped up to almost $26 at one point, and then it has taken a sharp drop back down over the last few days. Crude oil has been on a downtrend over the last couple of weeks, but we are still over $100 at $102 a barrel right now for crude oil. Gas prices are still, at least in my area, still way over $4 a gallon. Natural gas has taken a sharp drop down. And then you can see here that corn, is starting to peak up here and drop. So has wheat has been taking a drop, and soybeans is taking definitely a hit, taking a little bit of a hit, but still holding strong over here. So they want you to be more feminine because, little health tip for the men out there: stay away from the soybeans. It's really horrible for your testosterone levels. But anyway, that's a whole other subject, and I'm not a doctor either. I'm just a dude that's turning 40 next month and doing research on how to keep being a strong man into my 40s. But anyway, let's go and take a look at some of these macro charts here. M2 money stock, which is basically like the Fed's balance sheet, is, just riding steady. We're actually, a little bit... we're not peaking here, so this hasn't hit like a lower low yet, or a higher low yet. Anyway, let's look at the interest rate. Hasn't changed. They haven't hiked that, but there has been talks about it. But if you want to talk about the inflation rate year over year, was it last couple of weeks? It was at the 7.9 range. Well, we're definitely now higher than that at 8.5. Let's take a look at the civilian unemployment rate. We are still at a 3.6 here. But which is funny because everywhere you go, they're hiring because they can't get people to work these really crappy jobs. And they're still, and they're like, fast food restaurants are still trying to, pay $15, $16 an hour, and they still can't get people to work. So, I don't know. Mortgage rates, though, are up above 5% at 5.1% interest. That's like the lowest market rate at what you can borrow money for a 30-year mortgage right now. So, like I said, the lowest rate. That's with super good credit. So, it's looking kind of gnarly. The core CPI, they say, is up at 4.5. We all know that's a lie. We all know it's higher than that. I am gauging inflation based on Dollar Tree. 25% minimum is where we're at because all their prices shot up, $1.25. When that happens and they haven't changed their prices in over 35 years, that's a problem. So I'm gauging consumer rates on that. As it's my life. It's where I got to shop these days because the markets are the markets are crap. So I got to go shop at the Dollar Tree. So I can no longer buy 5 items for $5. I can only buy 4 items for $5. So that's a 25% increase right there, bud. Anyway, just the way I look at it, on my little, my little worldly level here, in my little bubble. So let's take a look at the Central African Republic. It passes a crypto-friendly bill, reportedly makes Bitcoin legal tender. Now, this is some good positive news that just will help send you to the moon. To know that everything's gonna be all right, because eventually, in the long run, we will win. They kind of say it's the whole... First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, which is where we're at now, and then we win. And that's what's starting to happen, because now we have got more and more countries that are starting to come out and want to make Bitcoin legal tender and passing these laws. So regulation may not be a horrible thing in some cases, especially if, it's coming out with stuff like this. So let's take a look at this article from our friends over here at Our Bitcoin News. The Central African Republic, a country in Central Africa, has become the latest to adopt friendly rules to regulate the crypto industry in the nation. So in addition, the country has also adopted Bitcoin as legal tender to prompt economic recovery. So Forbes reported this on Saturday. You can link into that. I'm going to put the link in the description below for this article, so you can go check that out. It's also in the news center currently in Our Bitcoin news feed there. Definitely go and check that out. According to the report, the Minister of the Digital Economy, Post Services, and Telecommunications, Warner Zacko, and the Minister of Finance and Budget, I'm not even going to try that name, submitted the bill that sought to make Bitcoin's country's legal tender in the parliament. So, the draft law was unanimously approved by the lawmakers in the National Assembly. There wasn't a fight. It was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. So the report was later debunked by the official media outlets, which reported that while lawmakers have introduced a cryptocurrency bill, it has not made Bitcoin a legal tender in the country. So, stop, reverse, let's figure this out. So despite that fact, adopting cryptocurrencies as a means of payment could be beneficial for the Central African country that has been suffering from poverty and economic instability for decades. So with this legalization of cryptocurrencies, the country may see an increase in tourism as well as investments. So they are basically just opening up to crypto, allowing people to accept crypto in businesses and things like that. Not necessarily making Bitcoin legal tender, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So, per reports, the new law would allow citizens to make tax payments in crypto assets. Now, that's really cool. So, as well as allowing businesses and individuals to transact in the same. So, in addition to crypto adoption, may also pave the way for easier remittance transfers to and from the country. So, Latin American country El Salvador, as we all know, became the world's first country to adopt Bitcoin as its legal tender in September of last year. Later in March, the city of Lugano, the 9th largest city in Switzerland, also announced Bitcoin, Tether, and its own token, LVGA, as de facto legal tenders of the city. So it's happening, guys. If you guys want to check that out, go check out the links that are referenced in the articles here. I will be linking this article from our friends at Our Bitcoin News down below. You can also go and find that here in our news center. So just go to CoinLogic, go click on news, and then we have got sources from A&B Crypto, Our Bitcoin News, Decrypt.co, and Bitcoin.com, as well as our friends over on the Hive blockchain, through the Leo Finance platforms, and more. Definitely come and check out our news center here. We're going to be posting up more stuff here as well, as far as like TA posts and, daily news flashes and things like that. So we've got a lot of content we're trying to produce here at CoinLogic. So just stick around. Give us a follow. If you like what I'm trying to do here, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. If you're following us on YouTube, hit the notification bells, the routine, all that kind of good stuff. But we'd like for you to come check us out on 3speak.tv. So coinlogic.online, you can come and follow that account. I'm actually going to be changing things up and posting these through my Logical Dude account, which has a much larger reach right now. I'm going to be doing some more quick look videos and stuff through the CoinLogic account, but your main videos are going to be on Hive, are going to be through the Logical Dude account and just reblogged from the CoinLogic online account. But CoinLogic TV on YouTube is still rocking and rolling. We're posting everything through that channel as well. So just trying to get some more outreach through the Hive networks there, and honestly make some more money. So kind of where it's at right now, because markets are down. Dude needs to make a little income. It is what it is. But you can do that through blockchain, social media, through 3speak.tv, through the Hive blockchain. You can earn and monetize your stuff without having to please the gods up at YouTube and, hit all of their monetization levels, which is extremely difficult. We've got the subscribers. We're working on the watch time. So, yeah, hey, go watch us on YouTube if you're there. So, have a great rest of your day. Be cool. Be real. Always abide. And please don't get wrecked out there in those crazy markets. We're all going to be all right. Don't go selling into a loss or anything like that, because as we saw, then we may be finding some bottom. All right. So let's wait for some confirmation, but make sure you're following all the accounts so that you can know when I'm looking at these things turning around and going into a different direction. So y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace out.